going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got our divisional round on the dot. NFL live stream coming at you guys here on a beautiful, wonderful, magical Friday evening. Hope everyone had a wonderful week, and we are ready for some divisional playoff, NFL playoffs. Man, I'm excited. Very, very excited. We kicked off wild card weekend with a bang last week. We hit a 4-leg touchdown on Saturday. I think we turned $25 into like $930. So huge W for the Discord. Make sure you guys subscribe below and hit that like button. We're gonna try to duplicate it once again. And as always, this show powered by Occupy Fantasy. Guys are absolutely dominating. PGA just started up at DFS. We got NBA rolling right through. And then, of course, NFL and NHL. Never a better time to sign up. So make sure you guys go check out Brian and the guys. Shout out to all of them. And if this is your first time tuning in, you've tuned into a pretty good stream. We had a carryover. Good stream last week. Went 5-2 for plus 3.4 units. Over the last couple streams, we are 10-4 for plus right around 6 units right there, plus 5.9 the last 2 streams. So we are ready to get after it. We'll be here for about 30 minutes or so. So appreciate you tuning in on a Friday night. If you tune in later tonight or earlier tomorrow morning, make sure you guys drop a comment on YouTube or repost this on X. So appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. We will look to have another stream. We got Steph in the chat. Yo Dot, we cashing out. Yep. It is going to be another beautiful, magical weekend once again. So we are ready to go. And if you guys have any comments, questions, love to hear from you guys throughout the show. I might discuss somebody that or I might not discuss somebody that you have a question on. Love to hear those, as those always drive the show as well. Okay, first time tuning in. If you are, we will go over a spread play. We got it was gonna be a same game parlay, then I switched it up last second, so that's always good. But we're just doing a 2-leg parlay, and then we have 3 props and our teaser. Teaser absolutely dominated last week. It was absolute free money with the Bills and the Ravens. We swept all 3 props. Eckler came through in the clutch, which I was getting a little heated to because the 12-yard rush that after he got thrown the ball slightly behind the line, I was like, come on, that was a 12-yard pass. So they were trying to, but then that deep I think he had like a 20-something yard reception late in the fourth quarter, which helped us there. But Josh Allen continued to dominate on the ground rushing. And then we had Isaiah Likely dominated once again. I wish I would have laddered that, but we had a nice little stream last week. So let's follow it up. Let's get 3 streams in a row. Some would call that a winning streak. All right, so let's get into it. We have probably the game of the week, and I have I'm going to go with the road favorite. The road favorite here. The Ravens. I could have went Chiefs, could have went Eagles. Really like those guys. But I think this is the right spot here. Even though you're kind of going against the grain with the home playoff dog narrative, that is it's a profitable strategy, obviously. But you have to look at the scheme of this whole game, and obviously it's going to be freezing cold. Everyone's thinking that's going to be Buffalo's advantage, but I see that I feel like it's a moot point in this matchup with two teams. Both can run the ball very, very well, but I think the main difference here is the defense. And the Bills defense, I'm not going to even say last week was they played the Broncos, and the Broncos had no reason to be on the same field as the Bills, especially in the playoffs. So I get it. People can say that they're playing good at the right time, defensive wise, but I think Henry, Lamar, even without Flowers, they're going to be able to not only have both Isaiah Likely and Andrews in, but they're going to have a huge front seven on them, and they're going to be able to do kind of what they want. And Lamar is going to be Lamar, Henry is going to be Henry. They have such an advantage in the trenches on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. Plus, Kyle Hamilton back. That Ravens defense has been absolutely legit. So I'm all on the Ravens here. I'm not going to say that they roll. I think it's going to be a great game to watch, but I'm going to side with the road dog. Also, the line, they came out as road dogs and then it flipped. So I think they flipped for good measure. I think a lot of the sharp money came in early on them. I don't see this continuing to grow. I think I think the right team is favored. This is the right line. You might get a -1, -1.5 out there, but this is probably going to be where it's at. And I think this is the right angle here. CCD Sports Stocks. Yeah, Bills defense is burnt toast. Yeah, it's I just think that's the real advantage here. And having Derrick Henry has been the key for this Ravens team. And what can you do on the Bills? You can absolutely run it down their throat every single time. So I just see this as a drawn out game. I know everyone's talking about some snow in the forecast for Saturday. Obviously, the field's heated, so I mean, I don't think there's going to be any snow on the field. So nope. I think that's just the good old weather narrative people are trying to get with this game. But mute point, we're going to take Ravens. Ravens -1.5. Let's take it. All right, and then we will parlay. So if you're in the Discord last week, I took all 4 of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league for a touchdown, and they did not even get close. So once again, I did it again, but I will go, and I took all 4 quarterbacks for 50+ rush yards. Got very close. Lamar and Jaden got 50+, and Allen got 46, and I think Hurts got like 36 or something like that. So I knew Hurts was kind of the odd man out on that one, but I was hoping to just break one off. So in this case, we're going to go split that in half. We're going to go back to the well, go Lamar Jackson 50, Jaden Daniels 50+ rush yards on FanDuel, +169. I thought this is better odds than what thought I would get. If you want to go 40, it's -125. So you'd eat some juice there. I have no problem with that as well. And if you want to maybe just throw 40 with Josh Allen, go right ahead. These 2 quarterbacks obviously are going to be huge for both of their respective teams. And you've just seen Lamar Jackson rush even more down the stretch. He had 15 rush attempts last week, and 4 the week before against Houston, didn't really need to, and then 9, 8, 7. So I mean, there's more design runs, and obviously we all knew with Flowers out, they're going to be big up front, and when they're big up front, they can do all types of stuff. And if they're going to play action or RPOs with Henry, it's a game over. So Lamar for 50+, it seems like pretty much a lock here. Then you have Jaden Daniels. So the narrative, I guess, against this Lions D, that Aaron Glenn is going to send the house this week and make him make a play. I don't know if that's the right strategy here, but I think you should just drop back and try to make him be a passing quarterback. But he's very, very good at that too. So it's kind of see what they got to do here. But I think Jaden Daniels, his line right now is 55.5. It's like he ran a lot last week, but then he didn't. So his number 36, he really had 40 until the last drive where he took 4 yards off of that last one. I know it cost some people some parlays. It probably pissed a lot of people off. But his rush attempts have been there, 9, 11, 9, 16, 4, and then 13. So, I mean, he is rushing a ton. And I think that they'll have spies. The Lions will have spies out there, but they give up the 4th most rushing yards to the quarterback position. So these are just smash spots. If you want to ladder it, maybe go 60 and 70+, go right ahead. I mean, Lamar had 50 in like the first quarter last week. So it was I think what did he end up at last week? 81. Yeah. So the last 5 games, he's averaged 63.6 rush yards. Just a great matchup for both of them. Huge games, obviously. They are going to rise to the occasion. Take both of these guys 50+, and let's go to the window there. All right. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you guys. We got tons watching. Let me see. Let me hear from you guys. Cyber, what's up? Love props.cash hat in the back. Yep. Shout out to those guys. Those guys were one of the first ones to throw their name in the hat and back me up. So I appreciate them at props.cash, and I utilize their their website a ton. So make sure you use on the dot 25% off if you want if you want to get in on them. But I mean, their data pool is it's a one stop shop. It's nice. I love it. Alrighty, we got our teaser play, and it kind of is square, whatever. Last week was square, and we won. So I kind of don't see these teams needing the teaser necessarily, but hey, let's tease it down. I'm taking the lower total games of the week, not the 50 plus games, and then teasing them down. So 6-point teaser, Chiefs. I believe they're 8.5 now, which I think they were like 9, but you got them down to 8.5 at some books. So go 2.5 there for the Chiefs, and then the Eagles are 6. That one's grown. It was like 5.5, and then it's now up to 6.5. So depending on what book you got, you can either get Eagles pick 'em or Eagles minus 0.5. Basically, the Eagles win the game and you're good. But 6-point teaser here. If you want to just take these these two teams against their spread straight up, I wouldn't blame you there. The Chiefs, the long history with Andy Reid being very, very good off of a long layoff or extra rest. I think that this team needed it, especially one of the guys that I will have a prop next for. Definitely needed that. And then the Eagles, man, I think whatever you think the Rams can do, the Eagles can do like 4 times better than them. And I loved the Rams last week against the Vikings. It was just a great matchup. They matched up better. And I feel like Sean McVay just knew everything that O'Connell was trying to do. This week, McVay might know, but the players on the other side are just that much better, in my opinion. So yeah, the Eagles should roll in this one. So Chiefs, Eagles, make it square. Say whatever you want, but I think these are the right teaser plays of the week. All right, so just tease the first prop, and that is going back to the Chiefs Texans game. We have 8.5, 9-point favorites here, and you have a running back basically coming off like a very injury riddled year. And I don't think there's anything more in the world that this guy wants to do than contribute down the stretch. And if you don't know where I'm going with this, you haven't watched the Chiefs play at all. So we're gonna just go with Isaiah Pacheco. And I know this line I think started like in the mid 30s. Obviously, you can't do the show in the middle of the week. We're on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So we're going 41.5. I think 50 is pretty dang easy. If you want to go, if this goes up to like 43 by game time, I'm still okay with taking it. But Pacheco, obviously horrific down the stretch, injury riddled, 32, 26, and 18 yards. But when he did come back, he had 44 and 55. This extra rest, plain and simple, is the best news for this Chiefs team, meaning Pacheco getting more healthy. I know Kareem Hunt will be in the mix. He's not going to go away, but this number simply is way too low. Way too low. You have, this guy's kind of the basically the heart and soul of this team when he gets the lightning bolt of the team. And if he starts off hot, I think this can get up to 50, 60, 70. Especially with 8-point favorite, you're going to have more rushing opportunities. I think his rush attempts right now is 10.5. So 4 yards per carry. Hey, I think we can get there with this one pretty easily. So go rush yards here, and if you want to ladder it, go right ahead. But this Houston defense is pretty good against the rush. I'm not gonna say it's the fantastic matchup. I think it's the great number here that we're getting with probably the starting running back who will get 60 to 70% of the carry, and Kareem Hunt will sprinkle in. So give me Pacheco over 41.5 rush yards. A sneakier side to this if you wanted to take his receiving yards. His receiving yards like 5.5 or 6, and he sneakily always has like 1 or 2 receptions that go for 10 yards. So that's kind of a sprinkle play if you want to. I wouldn't put a lot of money on it, but I mean he's had catches of what is it? 33, 21, and 15 this year. So I mean it's worth a sprinkle. I think it's a different approach especially if the Texans start getting home on Patrick, but I think that's another angle if you want to take it, but I like the rush yards. All right. So let me see. Let me pull up that Prop radar real quick. So this one's over on Occupy Fantasy here, occupyfantasy.com. Go over to the betting tab, click Prop radar, and we are going to search for Isaiah Pacheco. This is all free on Occupy's website. Use this tool at your advantage. You come down here, you got your receptions, come down here, total rushing attempts, and the total rushing yards. So you see 41.5 still hanging out there. It's up to 42.5 at every other book besides FanDuel. Then you just click go now, bet now, whatnot, and you can make that bet. It's a great tool over at Occupy Fantasy. Make sure you guys utilize it. All right. So Pacheco is our first prop. And we're going to go to that Saturday night game with the Browns, the Commanders Lions game. I say the Browns because I am going on Amon-Ra St. Brown's over 76.5 receiving yards. This has gone up a little bit. I think it's going to continue to go up before game time. It wouldn't shock me if it gets to like 78, 79, even up to 80. Fantastic matchup here. And I think this number is pretty low for the best receiver in this game. And if you've watched the Lions games for whatever reason, it's kind of like they forget about this guy, and then all of a sudden it's third down, and they're like, "Hey, Amon-Ra, make a humongous play for us." I don't think they want to put themselves in that position again. I've seen a lot of people on like Jameson Williams receiving yards thinking, people are going to feature in on Amon-Ra. I've seen Laporta's a ton, but I just think this Lions team is not going to go away from this guy. You really can't get away from this guy. And I think they're going to basically attack Lattimore a lot, which you could see last week with Evans. But I think Amon-Ra St. Brown lines up everywhere. So, it's going to be very hard for this Commanders defense, which ranks probably middle of the pack at receiving yards and receptions and whatnot. But I mean, you've seen this steady diet of 70s, 60s, and 77s with boosts, with spikes up to like 161 and 193 receiving yards this year for Amon-Ra. You go to the playoffs a couple of years, last year, 110, 77, 87. So as you can see, when the games obviously matter most in the playoffs, I think you're going to tend to draw up plays not for your role players. It's going to be for your dudes. And I obviously think if you want to ladder this up to 100 plus is not out of the question, or maybe as receptions. So I mean, you could get up to 9 or 10 receptions, but I think this is a very, very huge, great matchup for Amon-Ra this week. So over 76.5, I believe that is still the line. So let's bring up the Prop radar. What do we got? Amon-Ra, or let's just put Brown on the Prop radar here. And we got total receiving yards. So it's up to 78.5 actually over on BetMGM, but 76.5 over at Caesars, DK, and FanDuel. So make sure you take it on those books. But yeah, I could definitely see this number increasing throughout through up to game time. All right, so we got that one there. So we've had our Pacheco, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then we're gonna hope, and I'm not gonna hope, I'm gonna expect this one because he owes me for last week. We were waiting on a Saquon Barkley touchdown last week in the Discord, and he broke that long run to end the game. and just slid. And my heart went up and it just sunk right back down into my gut. And I was like, God, I hate when players do that. I get it. Totally get it. I get the game. It's game's over, whatever. But I hate when they do that as a bettor. It just sucks. So anybody else in the chat got screwed by that, let me know. But I jumped up. I was like, yeah, go, go, go. And then, oh boy, just sunk. But we are going to go to that Rams-Eagles game, which I think should be controlled by this Eagles team. And we're going to go with Saquon. Not the big number, 112 or 115, whatever it is. But we're going to go his longest rush. Over 18 and a half, this longest rush. I've seen 19 and a half in other books. I'm okay with that. He has had a 20-plus yard rush in 7 of the last 10 games. Basically, his longest rush average is about 31. And against this Rams team, he also had I think he had total rush yards was 255. Obviously, he's not. That's the all-time, the ceiling, right? But if you watch that game, he absolutely was just like just a man amongst boys. And that game, he had a 72-yard long touchdown run. You've seen 39, 25, 68, 22, 23. Last week, he had that 17-yard rush. And then given the matchup here, you probably couldn't have asked for a better matchup in the besides the Bills probably against the run. And they give up probably the 10th most the third or fourth most rush yards in the game, which obviously you've seen by Saquon demolishing them before, and then top 10 in longest rushes allowed, explosive plays. So in total, it's a great matchup. I think they're 28th. They're also 26th in yards per carry and 28th in yards allowed before contact. So I think you're going to see a jump cut and boom, jump cut, explosive plays left and right here out of Saquon. You're going to see this offensive line push back. I like this Rams young defense. I really, really do. But I just think they're overmatched in the snow. I know the snow is going to be a factor in this one, but snow actually doesn't have that much of a factor on like fantasy points and big plays as wind does. So I'm okay with the snow play here. You've always seen those big long runs in a snow game. So I'm all for any type of weather, any type of game environment here for Saquon. But yeah, over 18 and a half, you're going to get 19 and a half. Go ahead and you're going to get a 20+ rush here. So let's go to the OccuProp Radar, show that once more with the Saquon line. So let's see. And if you guys are here watching, look, shout out in the chat. Let me know if you guys are here. Let me know. Love to hear from you guys. But yeah, so 18 and a half over on BetMGM and then 19 and a half FanDuel and DK. Like I said, I'm okay with taking that. We're good to go. By the way, let's take a little break on the plays here. Is anybody else watching Severance out there? I watched season 1, and we're basically on episode 8 of rewatching season 1 before we watch season 2 tonight. So let me know if I have any Severance fans in here. That show absolutely rocks. All right, so we got our 3 plays. We got Pacheco, we got Amon-Ra, we got Saquon. And our anytime touchdown last week was one of the plays that lost. And Mark Andrews' streak of I think it was 7 in a row or 6 in a row had came to a crashing end. Justice Hill, was it likely, and some other, the Henry for 2 or something like that. Just just a wild when Justice Hill scores or whatever, it's you never know, it's not your night. But we're gonna go back to that Ravens Bills game. I do like Josh Allen on the ground. I do like Josh Allen in this game. Obviously, the whole history between Allen in the playoffs, rushing for 40+ in 8 out of 10 games. But we're going to have him score. We're going to have him score this week. So plus 110, and I'm going to show you the odds here at some different books are kind of, it's a little bit more of a roller coaster, which I always tend to look at and try to exploit. So let's bring this one up real quick. We got to score a touchdown. So minus 121 on Caesars, but then you got plus 110 and plus 105 over on FanDuel. So we're going to take it on DK plus 110. I think that's, I thought this line was going to be minus 110 to minus 130 like it was last week. Or it even got to, I think, minus 135 at some times. But he did not score. We had a James Cook game, and it was a blowout. What's the MO here? The MO is very, very close games, very, very back and forth. You're going to see Josh Allen take off. I know the Ravens have pretty good matchup against him. That's why I'm a little hesitant to take his rush yards 40 plus. I might, be safer and maybe just do 25 plus, but at the same time, you're just not going to get very good odds with that. But I think this is probably the best angle to play Josh Allen if you want a plus money play. So Allen plus 110. I don't remember the last time he scored. So let me check really quick. Yeah, so he's only scored once in his last 4 games. Obviously, if you think about the matchups in those last 4 games, New England, the Jets, New England, and the Broncos. So not much to play for. Obviously, didn't play in one of those games, the second to last New England game. But the games before that, he scored in, 5 straight and had 8 touchdowns. So that's the Josh Allen you're going to see in this game. Plus, you have the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen touchdown or MVP category or MVP discussions, debates, and you're going to see both of these guys ball out. So I really like Lamar on the ground, and then I like Josh Allen to score. So plus 110. All right, so we will recap, and I guess we don't have any Severance fans in here. That's crazy. No Severance fans. No Severance. Unbelievable. Well, I'll be watching it by myself then, I guess. But let's recap real quick before we get up and out of here. We got the Ravens minus 1.5, minus 1, whichever one you get. Then you got Lamar 50 plus, Jaden 50 plus rush yards, parlay. Then you got the Chiefs, Eagles 6-point teaser. Love that play there. Then you got Pacheco over 41.5 rush yards. St. Brown 76.5 receiving yards. Saquon busts a 19 or 20 plus rush here for his longest run. And then we got Josh Allen plus 110 to score a touchdown. So looking to have another profitable stream. Like I said, as we started, 10-4 the last 2 streams, up approximately 6 units. So let's get the winning streak and go 3 straight. So appreciate you tuning in. If you have any additional questions, or if you have watched Severance, please throw them in the comments below, and love to hear from you guys. So we got Cyber. What's up, buddy? Says let's LFG. So we'll get up and out of here. I appreciate you guys. Let's have another. I'll always have our anytime touchdown parlays in our Discord. So let's smack another one for another grand this week. So with that, we'll get up and out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.